Okay, welcome back to my channel. This is just a quick read for Libra, and this is going to be with a new deck. This is the Tarot of Pagan Cats. So it's a little harder for me to read in some respects because some of the imagery is a little bit unclear, although they do have, of course, the symbols here at the bottom. So we do actually have some clarifying energy here. Kings and queens seem to be, in my estimation, kind of a mix. It doesn't show me any definitive energy, whether it's masculine or feminine, that I can tell. Anyway, I might be overlooking something, so I'm going to read it just as I see fit. We do have, these are the main energies up here, and then we do have the clarifiers below. And then this is the card that fell out and how it all relates, and then this is to clarify for here. Anyway, I'll get right into it. And again, this is not going to resonate for everybody. You're all on different timelines, and as I mentioned before, some of you may be in this current energy, others it'll be following further out into the months here, because I'm doing it over sort of the course of 2 to 3 months. What's coming in that's more positive here for you? And it does look like there is definitely some very positive energy. Okay, so we'll just start out here with that Knight of Pentacles. So when I'm looking at the Page of Pentacles, so when I'm looking at the page, this is where I feel there is a level of learning. There is certainly anything that relates to loans, anything that is related around your physical world or gravitates around your finances. So there is some kind of communication there, and it seems to be very quick communication here. So I feel like this is something is incoming here in the next few months for you that does speak to, again, whether it's a loan or some kind of additional money that's coming through, but it is something that is a project that's already started, clearly with a page. So you're at the entry stage of something here, and you're just hearing the communication. So it's going to be real world finances, and it is going to be communicated here pretty quick. And it almost feels to me that life is going to speed up here as well with that Eight of Wands energy. So it is swift movement, period. Around finances, around learning, around some kind of communication, but also more specifically just grounded earthy energy. So there's money or something that's coming through that you've already started here. And again, it definitely speaks to learning here as well. So either way, sorry guys. Then we get into the swords energy, and this again is a little bit ambiguous as far as the king queen to me, but either way I'm going to read it as I see fit here. So I feel in this particular idea here, this is swords are ideas for me. So we do have a lot of information that's coming in, something that is going to be, again, could be studious, certainly because this card also has that same indicator, but it's definitely a lot of ideas that are starting to come in either way, and it's a real strategy that is being, that's coming through here, so that you're really going to have to work on pulling a whole bunch of ideas together here, because it's a new opportunity of some sort, or it's an opportunity in a particular way, because again, you've been working on this for some time, or at least there's something that's been, in the works with it. This is not a brand new idea, but it looks like there is definitely something in around the area of your authority is going to increase because of this. It does look as though you are making a decision of some sort. It could also indicate a certain level of professionalism as well, because this is a more mature energy. But either way, you're dealing with a lot of ideas, communication, systems, things like that, creating strategies with that Seven of Swords card. And it definitely feels like there's going to be a lot coming through in terms of how you need to organize things. We also have the Justice card, and of course that's followed by the Ten of Swords. So the Ten of Swords, again, right after this, looks like you've had to really amalgamate a lot of lessons, a lot of hard-earned situations. So it's unpleasant, unfortunate circumstances, and it's definitely something that has been draining and a hard-learned, group of lessons that you've had to really amalgamate together. So either way, you are sitting pretty here with the Justice card. So this tells me that something has righted itself. So for all of the lessons, and I do feel like life is a game. It is a game of life, and this is really about the challenges and how you meet those challenges. So this is that card of, there's going to be justice in a situation because you finally conquered something. You've conquered something within yourself. You've been able to, learn through the situation. Because this is unable to move forward here, you have to actually integrate these lessons with that Ten of Swords energy. It's not just moving past it, it's actually integrating it so that you can get past it. So again, the Justice card definitely is an indicator that you are in that place where things have been accounted for. This is sort of the karmic energy here that you're kind of moving into, where, you've put everything together, like I said, and you have really found, whatever the consequences were of that Ten of Swords, you're now sitting in the position where you don't have to worry. Everything is coming to you after this kind of a card. So everything is balancing out. The rights or the wrongs have been righted, that kind of thing. So when we get here to the King of Pentacles, King, Queen of Pentacles, again, a lot of energy around money and financial stability. So again, this is more of a mature energy, and it seems to be like you're moving from the Page to this energy of King, Queen sort of status. So it's an elevation of some sort here that is related around your finances. This is elevating you in some significant way here, and it elevates your authority in tandem with that. So I'm looking at this, seeing that you're in a place now where you're understanding something about your finances, understanding something about your stability, understanding something about your physical world and how to use your resources in that space. So this is where you're making decisions. This is also more of a professional card, but again, it's wise handling of the physical world. So wise handling of the physical resources and so on. When we get to the card of the Lovers, this one is, of course, also decision making, and it definitely speaks to, you being in a really good position. Could be that you're in a position now where something is coming together with another person, but either way, it is, something where you're more passionate about the situation. So again, we're just going to go through this in a more unified sort of way. I just wanted to give you sort of the gist of how things were initially here, and then we just kind of flesh it out from there. Okay, so again, when we get into the Page of Pentacles, that is certainly that card of something new that's coming through here. You are in a space now where you actually have some kind of resource that is coming in that's going to be available to you here in the next short while. So like I said, you're in a space with the pages that's indicating this is just standing at the doorstep where the communication is now coming in. So the other part of it is, this is Page of Pentacles is also, like I said, it's also indicating that there could be loans. It's indicating that there could be new learning. Education system is sort of highlighted here also. But you're definitely in a space where you are trying to seize an opportunity here, because it's more about self-improvement. And it definitely is you kind of exploring the things that, in a sort of an apprenticeship way, not so much the Eight of Pentacles where you're apprenticing, but more of, trying to read the books, do the, the things that will improve yourself. Because again, it does indicate some kind of new enthusiasm and wonder with a page. So it's all about kind of being a beginner. But it's also, again, expecting a message. And you are getting the message. It is coming through here pretty quick. And it's good news, and it is around money. Sorry, guys. But it is also, mornings are hard for me. Anyway, and this is also, like I said, something in around things that you desire, something that you were waiting on, something that's, going to be good for you. It's also something in around, it does move you forward, and it won't be long, is what this card indicates. So it is some form of reward that's coming through here. So again, when we get to the card of the Eight of Wands, this is also, again, quick information. Eights are all about reevaluating and putting things into, setting your priorities and getting things in motion. So there's kind of a speed up energy here, like it's a renewal to kind of regenerate you again in some way. So I feel like you're in that space now where everything is going to start to turn around here, because the Eight of Wands is all about news. It's all about a period of stagnation that is no longer taking place. Delays are over. You know, this is where you're finally going to be able to implement ideas or implement whatever this resource is that you've been focused on. So again, this could be email, this could be fax, this could be any kind of communication, phone, whatever, however it relates to you, but it's good news that's arriving here. So I'm not going to read this as romance, because I don't really feel like it's romance. It feels like you're really focused on things around your stability, period. So I just feel like things are going to start to speed up in around that area. Things are going to happen pretty quickly here. And not only is it quick communication, but you also have communication as a following card. The fact that this is, again, a little ambiguous in terms of what a king and a queen kind of represents, but it definitely is you standing in your own energy. We've got Justice card. We've also got the card of Justice here again for you. So I feel like this is really putting you in a place of power. Whatever this situation is, whatever this is that's going to be moving you ahead, it does feel like you're unlocking something around, you know, again, words, something in around communication, something of a scholar, that kind of thing, like somebody who is very diplomatic in the way they approach things, but definitely dealing with a lot of words. So very established energy here as well. Could be court related for some. When I see that Justice card out here right next to that King, Queen of Swords, but it's definitely dealing with your life in sort of a matter-of-fact way. This is what I've got to do next. This is the next. You know, high standards, you know, it's got that kind of energy here, a lot of structure that seems to be coming through here. But again, it's quite fair. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, sort of dealing with this energy as well, very much standing out here. But I definitely feel like this is where you're finally putting something into motion. There is definitely energy where there has been some conflict in around that balance, in around the finances, I would say, because of the level of, with the Seven of Swords, it feels like you would have had to amalgamate a lot of old ideas and belief systems and restructure that to create some balance for yourself. So I don't feel like you're going to be reacting emotionally. I feel like in this period here, there was levels of emotion that were agitating, where it was a lot of, you know, miscommunications, harsh words, that kind of thing. But I feel like you're moving into this place or this space of relying more on your intellect to kind of move you ahead. So this is more controlled energy, because you are using a logical approach to be productive here. So again, when we're looking at that Seven of Swords energy, I mean, this is still around that strategizing to try to make something happen energy. So once you get this communication, it looks like you are going to be, you know, moving ahead with a particular thought pattern and able to kind of create some balance here, and able to kind of, you know, whatever you had to restructure here, you know, whatever those setbacks were, you were bringing into balance because of this new situation. So there is something here that, again, this could be a negotiation for some, in terms of a court situation. There could be a negotiation of some sort here, but it's also about you kind of keeping things close to your chest. It's not a lot of reveal. It's not a lot of sharing of your plans. It's really kind of, I don't know that it's so much keeping secrets as it is more feeling that this is energy where you just don't want to deal with any more conflicts, because it has been such a hard road to get to this space here with that Ten of Swords. So again, there's a lot of potential here, because there's a lot of mature energy. Again, further out the Lovers, and of course that's the one that just sort of fell out. But this is really the clarifier for the other two. But a lot of mature energy to kind of get you into this space. And again, it feels like everything is righting itself. It's balancing out here, because there's an expert sort of feel here. This is someone who is trying to level it up in some way so that they actually have some level of authority, is what I would say there. So again, it feels like there could have been some conflicted feelings here, but everything is, again, balancing it out because there's a very independent energy here also. You might have been deceived in some way, and maybe this is why you're taking that position. But either way, it's a behind-the-scenes kind of energy where you're not really allowing anyone else in. It's more because it's a strategy versus a sense of, feeling that no one would share that in that joy. It's more along the lines of, been hurt before or whatever, or there's been a lot of conflict or drama around a situation, or situations, so you'd rather just kind of strategize and keep this to yourself. So it's that kind of energy. So it's behind the scenes kind of energy. And as well, when we get here again to the Justice card, I mean, this is that energy, like I said, of, documents being signed. It is still, kind of could be in around the range of legal aspects or dealing with documents that are, have a legal quality to them. Doesn't necessarily mean that it's gone to a court situation, but they certainly are important documents that could be dealing around some authoritative presence. We do have, with the Justice card, a sense of, like I said, being impartial, objective, and I feel that's you in this particular month, but it's a very strong position that you're in. And I don't feel like you're, I feel like you're detached emotionally to a certain extent, maybe just to be able to deal with the way things are in that they will be speeding up here. So it's kind of that energy here. This could also be, like I say, careers and law or health, because we are dealing with sort of the body as well in terms of pentacles. But it also does sort of speak to, again, that energy of balancing out the books, balancing out your life, really prioritizing your goals, getting a clear picture of how you want things to look here, really concentrating on and committing to this energy. So it's a really strong position, like I say, of authority that you're moving yourself into, and it's all about balance, balance, balance here. So I just feel like this, again, is going to be a place where you are having to sort of scheme or, figure out, strategize, how you're going to implement this new idea, how you're going to put everything together, how this is going to play out, because you are in a space here of you're just really in a space of taking a hard look at things, is what I would say, especially with that Ten of Swords energy. You're taking a hard look at things and really being careful in the way that you move ahead. Tens are, of course, all about a transition. So you're about to transition into more of a balance in your life here, because it is a completion card, and it's definitely, again, hard lessons, hard endings, but you are preparing for this new beginning. So there might still be some areas here where there is some conflict in this month, but it is, I feel like like a residual energy, but the majority of this energy is really, you're in the space of balancing it out. So again, Ten of Swords is still that time where you're kind of wrapping up. Nines are kind of wrapping up the cycle here, but the Ten of Swords to me is that energy of, if there is still sort of a residual, it'd be one of, yeah, that was a hard cycle. Yeah, that was painful. But I don't feel like you're in that space anymore because you're already into finding the balance here. I don't feel like you're in that space of, I'm still locked into this. I mean, some of you could very well be in that 9 cycle, and just kind of dancing between the 9 and the 10 here. You're all on different timelines, but either way, this was a lot of drama that you kind of went through. But it's definitely moving you into a very responsible energy and very authoritative energy. So again, it's kind of a bit of a forced change. So something has kind of pushed your hand where it's sort of forced you to move into this, dramatic end, or move into this final resolution of something. But you are feeling relieved when you get to this space here. And that's the main energies. The big card that's out is the card of balance. So like I said, I feel like whatever losses or whatever things that you feel were not communicated well, whatever suffering that, came at the hands of others, that kind of thing, or deceits or anything along that line, it feels like all of that seems to have moved into a new space. And this may have already been started in the period of spring, but this is a final ordeal. This is something that you won't have to face once you move into the space of balance. I mean, once you move into a new space of balance, you're ready for the next level, and that next level also has challenges, and you kind of move through the the range of cards again, 2, 3, 4, and up to the 10 again. And until you amalgamate that lesson in, then you can't progress forward. So it really is the game of life, in my estimation. So and I was just going to say, I know this is really random, but I went to see Mission Impossible with Tom Cruise in that movie last night, and I have to tell you guys, it was an amazing movie, and I really think that you will get something out of it if you are someone who also sees life as the game of life and all of the challenges that we have to go through. For sure, it's kind of on a dramatic scale because it's in that range of trying to entertain, but I think if you really look for the underlying message in a lot of these movies like The Matrix, as well as Mission Impossible, I found that there was something very significant that you could gain from that. Again, especially if you resonate with the idea of there being other factors at play, and the obstacles that that we meet with are almost because I'm going to put it this way. I find that like a lot of the synchronicities and the things that happen, sometimes this happens for me. A lot of AI does seem to be where we're headed, but what I'm finding is sometimes even before you actually enter something into the phone, like on a Google search or whatever, I'm finding that I'm actually starting to see, as soon as I enter the word just all of a sudden it knows what I'm actually thinking, what I'm going to enter in, and I literally have just entered one letter. So I don't know if anybody else has that same sort of scenario happening, but like I say, if you just kind of look at some of the synchronicities and the things that are starting to happen, I think you're going to realize that this does play out in very much that, again, game. Life is fashioned like a game. And our emotions rule or at least how should I say, factor in as the way in which we want to play the game. So if there's a lot of drama, then that means we want to play the game in a dramatic way. If there's a lot of because you will be challenged with something that could give you both a positive or a negative response. And again, it's how you play the game. If you choose a more neutral response, then the lesson will be more of a neutral learned lesson without a lot of drama. But if you choose the more dramatic response, you get more drama to learn that lesson, is kind of where I'm going with this. And I don't know if I explained that very well, but that's just my own theory. So, if you want to write in and let me know what your thoughts are on that, very interested. I'm always open to, new elements or conversation on that. So sorry guys, I'm a little tired today. So when we get into, and again, I see this as that king is a little, again, with this particular deck, it seems to be a little bit more ambiguous as to whether or not it's a king or a queen, because I don't really see any definitive indicator that it is a queen. I'm going to say this one probably veers more in around a queen just because of the roses in behind here. So I would say it's more of a receptive sort of card. But again, it would be the clarifier to the balance. So I would say that this is you kind of moving into a space where King of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles, still more authority, still more of a successful kind of accomplished energy. The King I would see as more of, manager and somebody who's really quite often self-employed. My King of Wands to me is more the self-employed entrepreneurial card, but King of Pentacles is someone who's already done it, and they're moving into that space of, I am becoming more of a business professional, that kind of thing. So, but either way, it's a very pragmatic, sort of responsible energy here, Capricorn, Virgo, Taurus. The other thing is here too, because the kings are in around what's balancing out here. This could very well be that you are influenced by somebody who does have, who does have quite an accomplished way of dealing with life. So that could also be somebody here that is influencing you, guiding you. But either way, I feel like this is energy around, you really taking some practical steps toward prosperity, toward things in the grounded material world, that kind of thing. And again, because I feel more of this is Queen energy, I would say that this is the energy of still being in that space of nurturing that aspect, like nurturing the money, figuring out where to employ it. Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo, again, but it's more practical solutions that you're coming up with that create this balance. It's also, again, a lot of energy around strategizing and really trying to deal with this in a non-impulsive way. This is, pentacles are things that are not to be rushed. This is that energy of, I'm going to slowly move this into a space where I can really closely examine and figure out where I'm going to, how I'm going to make that money work for me. So the money is improving here for sure in this next few months, and it definitely means that it's something that you're going to be able to see more flow in your life in the next few months, because there is a sense here that you're, again, reasoning out, and it's more that energy, reasoning out, independence, reasoning out how you're going to be more independent. It is clear boundaries, I would say, like there is a lot more communication, but direct communication. It's not really, it's problem-solving energy this in the next few months. And again, a lot of self-reliant sort of energy here as well, but there's a lot of setting rules, communication, powerful, mature thinker sort of energy, quite perceptive, direct communication, like I said, might be a little bit too overly direct for some, where, you're just a little sharp-tongued, that kind of thing. But there is secretive energy here about how you're moving your plans ahead. And again, there's a certain sense of righteousness. I'm doing the right thing. I'm rising to this new position. I'm taking on the qualities of this new position. It's that kind of energy here. So it's, again, very slow restructuring is what I would say there. Yeah, and again, you could be dealing with somebody where you're getting a little bit of advice, but because I say that with that Lover's card there could be some sense of influence from a lover, or it could also be, again, just dealing with a partnership or a significant person, or working in, close connection here with someone that is assisting you to help ease the burden and create more balance here. So again, the money seems to be coming through cooperation of something that could be loan, could be education. It definitely is something that helps to balance things out regardless. But like I said, the Lover's card definitely speaks to working in conjunction with someone else here. That's how you're gaining. There is some kind of a connection here that speaks to a relationship of sorts. So again, this is still choices or decisions for others, where you're having to make some choices or make some adjustments in your life to create more security for yourself. But either way, I would say that you're facing a big decision here with this card here. And I do feel like this is decision time over the next 2-3 months. You're moving ahead, you're strategizing, and you're making some pretty big moves that's moving you into sort of a professional atmosphere. Again, Justice card puts you back on top where things are balanced and you feel safer. So that's what I have for you, Libra, for the next few months, and keep moving forward and never give up. For sure, this is not the time to give up. You have a lot of plans in the making.